today I'm going to start a new subtopic from a social and religious reform movement. Okay, so in my previous lecture, so I discussed all about a Wahhabi, right? Wahhabi or revivalist. So we get to know about the reformers. From reformer sides, there are two famous persons, that is, yes, first is Raja Mohan Roy, and then from a Muslim side, that is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, so once there is like reformers, another side there was a revivalist. So in the revivalist, same category will be divided, that is for Hindu and Muslims. So for the Hindu, like just like as a reformist, Rajaram Mohan Roy, and here Arya Samaj. Okay, and then from the Muslim side, that is Wahhabi movement, right? So in my previous lecture, I discussed about this both. I discussed about the reformers, right? And then I gave the most and famous important points, and then I covered theosophical society and everything, each and everything, right? So now from the revivalist, I discussed in my last lecture, that is Wahhabi movement, right? We get to know how it starts, right? So don't get confused. It doesn't start in India, okay? It starts in Saudi Arabia, okay? So it starts in Saudi Arabia, and then from that, here from Indian people, they occupied their culture and they started the Wahhabi movement. So the root of ISI, that is IS, that's even today everyone know about it. So the root of it, ISI, it's Wahhabi. Okay, so we understood this. So now we'll learn about, in this today's video, we are going to learn about Arya Samaj. Okay, so from the Wahhabi side, I discussed about the jihad, right? Jihad was a most important topic. Even today also, by using the word jihad, everyone is misusing that word, but we get to know the importance of it and the real meaning of jihad, right, children? So like that only, we'll move on to the next and most important revivalist from the Hinduism, that is Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Who was he? So Swami Dayananda Saraswati, full name of his, that is Mool Shankar Tiwari. Okay, so the full name of the Swami Dayananda Saraswati, that is Mool Shankar Tiwari. He was born in Gujarat. Okay, and then so he founded Arya Samaj in the year of 1875, and in the year of 1877 shifted headquarter at Lahore. Okay, why? So we know, like, Swami Dayananda Saraswati was founded Arya Samaj, and when we go back to the reformers, we learn about Rajaram Mohan Roy. He was opposed for what? Yes, for the idol worship, right? He was opposed to the idol worship. Like that, Arya Samaj was also opposed to this, to idol worship. Then why do we call this, like, why do we call Arya Samaj as a, yes, as a revivalist? Why? So we discussed from the Muslim side, that is from Muslim revivalist, that is Wahhabi. So from Wahhabi, I discussed the 2 points, right? So in the 2 points, the first point, we didn't get any difficulties for that. Okay, so like from the Muslim side, the first, like, 2 points, the to reform Islamic society, and second, establish Islamic rules. So the first, Islamic society, to reform Islamic society. If you want to improve your religion, if you want to do some better thing for your religion, you can do that without harming anyone. No one will care, right? So ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ನ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೇಮ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಮ್, ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೊಡ್ದಿರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, no one will ask the question, right? So we won't say okay, we won't say no to them. So ನಾವೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ, but they are not troubling. So if they are not troubling, so we won't say anything to them. So first point is not that much tricky. Alva. So like that only in Arya Samaj also, why do we call them as a revivalist? So we'll get to know point to point. Okay. So the slogan of the revivalist of Hinduism are like Arya Samaj, that is, yes, go back to Vedas. Like that only from Muslim, like from a Wahhabi, they made one slogan. What's that? Yes, Islam is one. So yeah, Islam is one, but they made a slogan. We are going to do this for anything we are going to do. Like in Hindi, that's a proverb that Sam Dam Dand Bet, right? So everything is fair in love and war, just like that. So here from the Hinduism, go back to Vedas. They decided, okay, and then from the Muslim side, so they said Islam is one. So the slogan of these two is very different, and we'll get to know very deep about it. Why did he say it about the go back to Vedas? So when we discussed, when we like we know about the reformers, right? So they said Vedas is necessary, but as well as Vedas, we have to learn and we have to give more importance to the Western culture, not culture, Western education. Okay, so that's called reformers. I told you about the Rajaram Mohan Roy. He was a father of modern India, right? Why does he call as a father of modern India? Yes, because he confirm and he accept the time, and he was ready to go time to time according to build his own culture. His And then he was not upset to be an Hindu. He was proud to be a Hindu, but he used to respect all religion. Either it's a Christianity, either it's a Muslim or other religion. So he was very excited and he was ready to accept it. Okay. So that's called reformer. But for the revivalists, they are very rigid. So they won't accept anything. Go back to Vedas. So they have to be like if you are in the 21st century, if you were going to again like forward, if technology is improving day by day, but then also there are so many people that doesn't encourage for the technology. They'll say this is not a good way. We are Hinduism, we should respect Vedas. Yes, of course you have to, but you have to go time to time. Okay. Then next, like he approved Vedas and Upanishad. So he like Arya Samaj people, so they gave approve to the Vedas and Upanishads, but they reject Puranas. Okay, and not ready to accept open culture. Okay, so open culture where whatever you want to do, it's they are not ready to do that. And Orthodox and revivalist movement among Hinduism was started, and Orthodox, that is traditional, so we are not going to change our culture. If we have to dress up like that, like in like you are in a 21st or wherever you are going, you are not supposed to change your dress sense. So that's the thing of them. And then here the one thing you have to keep it in your mind, that is idol worship. I told you like from first video I'm telling again and again that Rajaram Mohan Roy, the similarity between Rajaram Mohan Roy and Arya Samaj, that like Brahmo Samaj and Arya Samaj, they both prohibited idol worship. They doesn't accept, and they won't give permission for the idol worship, and they also accept there is no image of a god. So God is a formless. So that's the thing. And one god and formless god. I told you like one god and formless god. And they criticized rituals of Hindu society. So they criticize rituals of Hindu society. And then simplify religious practices. Okay. And then next, promoted intercaste marriage. So see, these points you will get confused in your mind, and you will get question mark in your mind. Why do they call as a revivalist? Alva. So here first they approved Vedas. Okay, that's good, and they reject Puranas, and then they are not ready to accept open culture. Okay, they are orthodox, so they are not ready to move on from time to time. They love to stick in the one particular place. Okay, and then one god idol worship, that's good, that's what the Brahmo Samaj was ruling, alva. And then criticize ritual of Hindu society. Okay, then they criticize rituals of Hindu society, like this and that. So that's the thing. And then next, simplify religious practices. So simply religious practices means they accept, they believe a simple marriage, simple religious practices, even as the Brahmo Samaj also did that. Okay, and then they promoted intercaste marriage. Okay, so why did they promoted intercaste marriage? They are not ready to go, and why did they accept the intercaste marriage? So here one thing, in 1772 children, okay, तो 1772 में क्या हुआ था, यूनिवर्सल मैरिज एक्ट was started. Okay, universal marriage act was implemented. Okay, so universal marriage act was implemented by Northbrook. Okay, by Northbrook. Okay, by Northbrook. And this this in 1772 in the state, in 17th century the state was following that. So then he said, okay, so he was not afraid from that people, but he'll accept and he's going day by day, day by day. But we can think in another way. If he said no to the intercaste marriage, he will be behind the bar. Okay, he will be in jail. So we can't say is this is that, but we have to know the things. Okay, then here again you'll ask the question, why? See, so much good points are there to them, then why do we consider as Arya Samaj as revivalist? Why? Now you'll get a point over here. So I told you from the Wahhabi movement. So the first movement, that the first point from the Wahhabi, that doesn't make any doesn't any make any interrupt to the other religion. So रिफॉर्म सोसाइटी, अगर वो अपने इस्लाम सोसाइटी को रिफॉर्म करना चाहते हैं तो वो कर सकते हैं बिना किसी को हार्म किए. बट वैसे ही इस आर्य समाज में भी फर्स्ट पॉइंट ये दिया गया है कि उन्होंने हर एक सिस्टम को एक्सेप्ट किया. उन्होंने वेदास के लिए अपना ये उठाया, और आइडल वर्शिप दे वर नेग्लेक्टिंग दैट, एंड देन दे गेव importance to the promoted of intercaste marriage. Simply like simple marriage should be done, cultural rewards and everything, right? Now we'll learn the second point, as we learn from the Muslim side, from the Wahhabi side, that what's that? Yes, so the second point we learn from the Wahhabi, that is establishment of Islamic rule, right? From the Wahhabi side we learn about the establishment of Islamic rules that create, and that create a bad intention and bad image in every mindset. So like that only, here we are going to learn from the Arya Samaj, that is cow protection movement. Okay, the cow protection movement even today also that was going on, and that will go like, that will be continue at the end of this world, I think. So that's going on. So here, Gau Raksha Samiti. So they started Gau Raksha Samiti, and this was only to criticize anti-Muslims and anti-Christians. So Muslims and Christians, those who the like for the co-protection movement, people will go and join their hands only to destroy anti-Muslims, and those who doesn't like Muslim and those who doesn't like Christians, they'll go and they'll join the hands and they'll start the movement. Then let me tell you one thing, children, over here. You can see that thought and slogan from words from Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, where he said, I don't think there is any such need. Rather, I request my Muslim and Christian brothers not to slaughter a cow. And even if they do so, I can't kill them, because human being is more important to me than an animal. Okay. So even Mahatma Gandhi was not supported, even Mahatma Gandhi was not against the Muslim or against the Hinduism, but he doesn't give much importance to the Cow Protection Act. But even today that was going on, and they doesn't care about him. Okay. Then we'll go move on to the next movement. Okay, the first co-production movement that make a huge impact, and then we'll move on to the that is Shuddhi movement. Okay, so what is Shuddhi movement? Purification movement. So Shuddhi movement, see, like I told you, like lot before Hinduism, the Islams and Christians, so lot of conversion was started from Hindu to Islam, Islam to Christian. So that was happening. Okay, on that time. So they started Shuddhi movement. Conversion in the sense divert ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ನೀವು ಹಿಂದೂ ನೀವು like you, if you are Hindu, you have to convert as a Muslim. If you are a Muslim, you have to convert as a Hindu. If you are a Christian, you have to convert as a Hindu. So that was going on. Okay, so then they started a movement, Shuddhi movement. ठीक है, so शुद्धि मूवमेंट क्या होता है, जो पूरी प्यूरिफिकेशन सेरेमनी. सो शुद्धि मूवमेंट उस टाइम को सारे जो दूसरे दूसरे बिरादरी, जैसे दूसरे रिलीजन के लोग रहते थे, जैसे हिंदू को मुस्लिम बनाया दिया जाता था बिकॉज ऑफ सम कंडीशन, और फिर मुस्लिम जो रहते थे वो हिंदू हो जाते थे, और जो हिंदू रहते थे और क्रिश्चियंस वो कन्वर्ट होते जा रहे थे. तो उस टाइम को इन्होंने शुद्धि मूवमेंट का शुद्धि मूवमेंट सेरेमनी जैसे प्यूरिफिकेशन सेरेमनी स्टार्ट किया. ठीक है, और उन्होंने ये कहा कि जो भी लाइक हिंदू पीपल, दोज हु कन्वर्टेड टू द मुस्लिम और क्रिश्चियन, जो भी हमारे बिरादरी के जो लोग हैं, अगर वो दूसरे रिलीजन में जा चुके हैं बिकॉज ऑफ सम रीजन, उन्हें हम ये मौका देते हैं कि वो फिर अपने कल्चर आ सके. ठीक है, सो दैट्स कॉल्ड शुद्धि मूवमेंट. हाँ, सो नाउ विल लर्न अबाउट द book. So book was written by Swami Dayananda Saraswati, that is Satya's Prakash. Okay, and he died in Ajmer in the year of 1883. So now we'll learn about the moderates after the death of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. The two groups were started, okay, in Ajmer. What's that group? Moderates and Orthodox. Okay, so moderates, that is Lala Hans Raj from Orthodox, Swami Shedanand, and from the moderates Lala Lajpat Rai. So everyone knows he gave a more importance to them, and they started at Dev School, DAV, Dev School. What's the full form of Dev School? So from a moderates they start this. So Dev School, I think I've written, yeah, Dayananda Anglo Vedic School. So here you can see Anglo in the sense Western education. Okay, Anglo in the sense Western education. So if from the moderates they gave importance to the both. Okay, so that is Anglo Western education. And like that only from a Muslim side, so just sorry. So here how did they did DAV school? They started at Lahore in the year of 1887. Like that, Gurukul was started, and in that Gurukul, why orthodox in the sense rigid thoughts, they are not going to they are not going to accept any other culture, right? So they neglect Western education. So they said no to the Western education, and then they started like in 1902 Haridwar Gurukul started. In Haridwar Gurukul was started, and in that Gurukul only Vedic knowledge used to be given. Okay, so I'll tell you the parallel between these two, like parallel from Hinduism and Muslim. So let me tell you over here. So from Hinduism, like revivalist, so from the revivalist modern came and moderates came, and in this moderates DAV school started, right? Like that only from like Muslim side, so that is MADC school was started, right? That is Muhammadan Anglo Oriented College, right? From the Muslim side, that Muhammadan Anglo Oriented College was started. So they gave more, like they gave equal what? Yes, equal importance of education. So like that over here, in the Orthodoxy, we can see from a revivalist point of view. So they started Vedic knowledge, right? Like Deoband school was started, like Darul Islam from the Wahhabi, right? So they started DAVC, right? And like that, so it's a parallel between these two. Got it? Huh. So now we'll move on to the next and most important. Without this, we are not going to complete the topic, and that is, yes, Swami Vivekanand. So here Swami Vivekananda was born in the year of 1862 and died in the year of 1902. And he was the one who founded like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and all religion are true religion. So Vivekananda said our religion are true religion. And before, like, Mahatma Gandhi's slogan also is a different religion have different roots for the same destination. Oh my god. So here, just a second, don't know why I have did mistake over here. So destination, it's not destruction, sorry. So it's destination. Okay, DESTINATION. Okay, so for destination, different religion have different routes for the same destination. Who says this? Mahatma Gandhi. And who says all religion are true religion? Yes, Swami Vivekananda. Now we'll move on to the most important speech that he goes. That is in 1893. He went to the Chicago, USA. So here he gave an spiritual and materials of life. So he introduced of Hinduism, right? So during that time, what he did, he introduced the concept of Hinduism. Okay. So different religions. So now one of the American journalists. So when he introduced Hinduism in his speech, everyone knows about his speech, right? So when he says and when he introduced his speech and when he introduced Hinduism, one of the American journalists says, "We are fools that we send missionaries to India for people like Swami Vivekananda." Who says this? Yes, American journalist say criticize to whom? Yes, to Swami Vivekananda. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next. He believes social service. Okay, what did he believe? He believed social service. Okay. Then he called himself as a Vedantist. So here Ramakrishna mission was started right in the year of 1897, right? And then he says Atmo Moksha Ritam Jagad Hidaya. So that's a Sanskrit word. So he said one's own salvation and welfare of the world. Okay. And yeah, then he called himself as a social, he believed a social service. So what's that? So if a person is illiterate, teach him, right? If a person is sick, give medicine to him, right? So his main thing is we have to accept both the things. It's not like we should say bye to our culture. We have to keep that culture inside our heart. We have to work on that, but we should not say no to the other culture. We should not say no to any other things. Okay. So if that like, if I say you, see, we are Hinduism, so in Hinduism we have to accept only Vedic culture, so we are not supposed to learn English. So is it possible to lead our life? No, we have to give importance to the English and as well as for the Vedic. And as like from the Muslim side and from the Muslims, so they are like Orthodox, and they said we have to work and we have to learn Quranic words. That's true. We are not supposed to say no to it, right? So for the Vedic and for the Upanishads, then for the Quranic words and for the Bible, everything is there. So we have to accept it, but we should not say no to today's culture and today's how the time is going. So we have to accept it and we have to move on. Okay. And one thing, he opened the hospitals, schools, orphanage, and that was a very popular throughout the world. And there are 34 branches in the 34 countries. Ramakrishna mission was started, even in the USA, UK, and Pakistan as well. Okay, they helped the people. And in India, he was misunderstood by so many people. Obviously, if you are doing some good, so a lot of people will be there to criticize you. So in India, a lot of people misunderstood him, and he called himself a Vedantist. And then in like Hindu revivalist used to criticize, no, he was against us, so we are not going to accept his teaching, we are not going to accept his belief. No. Okay, so that's the thing. So this is the end of yours, that is social and religious reform movement. So before that, let us do a recap of it. Okay, so we learn about the 19th century, right? What and all happened in the 19th century. So first, general, and they gave the general and specific reason, right? First, like reformers and then revivalists. So from the reformer sides, that is Brahmo Samaj, and from a reformer sides, that is Aligarh movement, and it was founded by, yes, Raja Rao Mohan Roy, and it was founded by good Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, right? And from the revivalist, just a second, okay, from the revivalist, it was founded like Arya Samaj was founded, and then yes, Wahhabi movement. We learn each and everything about them, right? And then we learn about Satya Shodhak Samaj, Young Bengal movement, Theosophical Society, right? Practice everything we learn, right? So I hope you understood the concept and you learn the each and everything what and all I have discussed in today's and before lecture. So that keep learning and try to do a mind map and try to work on your performance. Okay, so till then, take care and best of luck for your mind map. Thank you.